We're converting video. It's Friday night, and there's a big gap in the world. Makes me very sad. See if we get anybody in here. I don't think we will. Now we're getting some people in here. Look, I'm converting day 4 of the carnivore thing. We probably won't upload till late tonight. It's taking forever. It seems like the uploads have been taking forever here lately. So, let's see if we can tune in here to ourselves. There it is. Isn't that a lovely picture? Prove that I'm not in a driveway. Oh, let's see. We get some people in here. We'll do some shout outs. And we'll get it going on. We just finished dinner. We're uploading day 4 video of the carnivore thing. Those of you who have been texting me, asking me questions, leaving me good tips on the comments sections of the videos, are enjoying this series. I really, really appreciate it. You know, I get questions like, well, what if I do this? What if I add onions? What if I add garlic? What if I, do this? Look, do your own thing, right? And I am not one to judge. I'm not one of these purists. I was never a purist with the keto thing, and I was never a purist when it comes to the carnivore thing. And, just simplify. And if throwing some garlic in or having MCT oil or something like that keeps you on track, then it keeps you on track, right? And it's all about changing your health. It's all about, but we'll talk about some trucking stuff. We'll talk about, we'll talk about some other things. I thought I was going to go home, but I'm not. So, not because I wanted to go home, but because truck was doing something funky, but it's kind of cleared itself out. We deliver tomorrow, and then I got a ridiculous rate for a load picking up Sunday. Excuse me. Deliver straight through. So it's kind of like picking up tomorrow and delivering Sunday. And then I'm working on something for Monday, but the broker's being kind of dumb. It's a click and go bid on it kind of thing. When you put a bid in and it's like, your offer has been countered and it's like $38, it's like, really? But I think it's a computer automation thing. I don't think there's anybody in the office. You're like, hey, let's go up $30, mess with this guy, And what's funny, it's the same load I'm under now. It'd just be a good circle, right? But they'll probably, Sunday night say, oh, okay, we'll do it for your price, because I don't think anybody's going to underbid me, so. But you never know. There's some cheapies out there. And they'll be desperate to get their truck moving on Monday morning. Monday morning is the worst time to be on a low board, so. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Mike Miller, YouTube with Attitude, Nomadic Brit, A. Haggy, John Armstrong, Clyde Garland, DIY Semi, Trucking and More, Robert Daniel. What did I do to Pale Rider? I did not do anything, Pale Rider. I called Pale Rider today. We chatted it up a little bit. And Pale Rider put it kind of, eloquently on his live feed this morning. He was kind of burned out, and the whole StreamYard thing kind of ticked him off. And Friday night's a tough spot. I've only got 20 people in here. So, Friday night's a tough spot. There's a lot of channels that I watch that are actually kind of live right now. And it's you know, people are tired, people are going home, or, you know, or you're at a truck stop having a steak dinner, you know, or any of these things. So, you know, it's Friday night's a tough spot. So, and I imagine somebody in our crowd's going to go live in here within the next half an hour or so, but that's fine. But Pale Rider and I had a good conversation, and you know, and I'm going to tell you guys, you know, with the newer YouTube channels, and I kind of broke my own rule, so I'm kind of a hypocrite, but try not to do like a schedule. I mean, sometimes spontaneity is the best thing, you know, and that's kind of how I approach my live feeds. I do a weekend live, right? So I might go live on Saturday. I usually don't go live on Friday because I didn't want to step on Pale Rider. I might go live on on Saturday morning. I might go live Saturday night. I might go live Sunday morning, or I might go live Sunday night. Sometimes I'm at home. Sometimes I'm in the truck. Sometimes I got the guitar, you know. You never know what you're going to get with me. But if I've been home a while, that's usually when, you know, like I was down for 2 weeks. That's usually when I go to the guitar. If I'm out, you know, 2 weekends in a row, then, you know, then I tend to go live a little bit more because I get bored. Because I do a lot of sitting. I mean, I don't drive 600 miles a day. And we can go over that. We can go over why I do that. Because I thought about, excuse me, I thought about making it a separate video, but we can discuss why I run short haul here and now if you're curious about it. Overtax Minnesota, Ian MacArthur, Eddie Drotar, Dennis Richardsville, yeah. Let's see, Post Trip is in the house. I appreciate you answering my question last night, Spectre, and you know, thoughts going out to everybody involved, and that's got to be a hard thing to stomach. I mean, you know, so. Truck along with Kiersey, we got you in the house. Going home, what is that you speak of? What is home? You're living in your home. You're driving your home. You don't owe taxes this year, says Eddie. BLR, what's up? Oh yeah, and whoever they are, try to drive the rates down. Minnesota's getting tough. Steve Berger put up a video. Steve Berger rose from the dead and sounded like the dead. He rose from the dead, sounded like the dead, and showed you, the YouTube viewer, how to change out those cheap, stupid ass lights that are on the tail end of a Schneider trailer. So kudos, that was a good video. It was well thought. So Steve, if you're working this weekend, holler at me. Steve, I and a lot of people, I'm sure, find you an interesting chap. Sometimes, you know, there was a nickname that was Borelord, and I'm boring and I talk monotone, and I don't know, I'm trying to get a little bit more livelier, you know, but I do pretty good on stage, you know, like I'm not just like, but on stage I'm supposed to be angry and angst and everything else. So Country Time's Clean Seal Man, I miss Country Time. We all do. You feel like the dead. All right, Steve. We'll have some conversations. I don't know if you've been keeping up, but oh, by the way, the whole carnivore thing is going to be under a playlist. Every time I upload a video, it'll be on a public playlist that I have, and that way you guys can check it out. So if you don't want to watch me every single day, I don't blame you, but you know, you can just like put on the list and see how redundant and repetitive I am. The video I'm uploading today, I kind of repeated myself because I always forget what I film, right? I always forget. That's the problem with these GoPros. I've got 2 GoPros and I have not utilized either one of them in the last 4 days that I've been out. So, let's see. Yeah, Nomadic Brit, I guess you're in on that great freight Sage Logic race, whatever you guys are calling it. So that'll be interesting. Sean Oldfield, you speak with knowledge. I appreciate all the nuggets you and Jessica have given me. I thank you for the compliment. I try to help out when I can. So let's talk some business stuff. Let's bore you guys for a little bit. So we got our handy dandy calculator here. I don't know if there's enough light in here though. I might have to use the phone. Yeah, there's not enough light. Although the sun's right in my face, as you guys can see. Beautiful sunset. Beautiful sunset. Can you show that clip on the bottom of your GoPro, Gran? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. This thing is awesome. So, it's actually GoPro made. I bought it off Amazon. Check this out. It turns. And if you got a 680, it clips perfectly on this lip on the dash. It fits perfectly on the bill of a hat. That's how I do my hat cams. Now, it's kind of, this one's heavier, so I usually use the other one. But I do that, right? And I turn it around, and that's how I've been doing the hat cams. I look like a goofball more than normal, but it's fun. But yeah, this turns. I didn't even realize that. But it's I love this thing. I had a friend of mine give me an Amazon gift card for my birthday, and so I bought a bunch of GoPro stuff. I bought an external mic, and I might kind of like, for some of my carnivore stuff, I might go in the truck stop with the external mic and just kind of show some stuff, what's going on. The truck stop I'm going to be at tomorrow has a great keto snack thing that, or carnivore snack actually, that will be perfect. So I'm hoping to show that off a little bit. You've been looking for something like that. The other thing, Steve, is a little, like, I've got this tripod that Ratman Rodin gave me, and a phone fits in it, and it's perfect. So that would have been perfect for what you were doing in your last video. But yeah, Steve, this thing is the shiznit, and it's a pretty strong clamp too. So, and then if you don't want to use the clamp, boink, it just uses a regular GoPro mount. So it's pretty rad. Thor and Thunder Truck, what's up, John? You just walk around with that clip to your hat and get the Karens all bent out of shape. I do, when I do the outside shots, that's what I'm using. When I'm doing the driving Provo style shots, that's what I'm using. But it gets heavy because it sits on my glasses, so I gotta have I use a different hat. I got a pilot hat that I use, and I sit kind of high in my seat. I'm not one of these guys like the Peterbilts that sit way down here. I'm not one of those guys. I like sitting up high because I'm all high and mighty, right? And so the hat is kind of got too much of an angle up here, so I have to kind of like do this, and it's hit my glasses, and it's not very comfortable. So it's not like I'm going to be the guy that drives around with it for 3 years or whatever. So DIY, thank you. Beef jerky on me, awesome. $5, that'll buy half a bag. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It'll buy like those 3 sticks, which is good stuff. So yeah, thank you very much. Thomas, you did make a live feed. Came in late. Is your truck good? Seen your Facebook post. Yeah, I've got this wobble in the front end. So I called Kenworth, because the hubs were just replaced. I said, look, I've looked all over. I've looked head to tail on this truck. I don't see anything, but what do you guys think? And like, would a 3-axle alignment, do something? And he's like, it's probably a tire issue. You probably got a tire that's been knocked out of balance or something. So we might hit a tire shop tomorrow. It just felt weird because it's a little bit more of a wobble than what was before. I've always had a little bit of a wobble, but I've got a tire that just doesn't agree. So a friend of mine suggested I get Centromatics for the front. Might just go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. But I haven't run enough miles to see how the tires are wearing. But I imagine I'm probably going to chew through a set of steers because of this whatever's going on. But everything looked good. I fueled up in Neosho today, checked the air pressure, everything was good. So I did put a little bit more air on the right side. That helped a little bit, but so I think it is a tire issue. So we're not going back to the shop just yet. Knock on wood there, Chucky. Pneumatic Brit, I'm sorry I missed the first part of your name, but I remember what happened every time your country came up against our country, brother. You all 0-3, at least in history. You're the new and improved third major. Look, new wave of British heavy metal. Set a huge foundation. Just saying. Kingpins. Yeah, Thomas, that is something I have to probably look at. Speedy money. Yeah, I'll get the kingpins looked at. So it's you know, this is around the same time my Peterbilt, you know, the same mileage that my Peterbilt started to have a lot of, like, I would take it into a place in Springfield that did a lot of alignments and torsion rods and stuff like that, and I was constantly, he did my Landstar inspections, and so he was constantly finding stuff. He would, like, the next time he come in, you might want to get this done for the next 120 day. He was a cool guy, but I gave him a lot of business, and, you know, the truck was better. By the time I got rid of the truck, the tires were all ironed out. You know, I was having steer wear issues, and I had super singles on that truck, so that kind of screwed everything up. Super singles are dumb. I hate them. Tractor front end up and pump your kingpin full of grease. The truck was just freshly greased. So what is the goal battle Eric is putting on? I'm not sure which video it is, but he's doing like a great race kind of thing between several owner operators. Nomadic Brit probably has talked about it or will be talking about it, but it's some kind of challenge. He asked me to be a part of it, but I didn't want to because my numbers don't mean squat. So let's talk about numbers for a second. I'll tell you why. So I have a friend. He's going to remain nameless. He got a good rate going out to Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, picking up today. Let's do some math. Yay, calculators. All right. So I think he got 3,100. Picks up today, delivers Tuesday morning. Or no. It delivers Monday, but he doesn't pick up his next load till Tuesday. Okay, that's what it was. So essentially, Monday he'll have this delivered. So that's divided by 3. That's 1,033 a day before carrier's cut. All these numbers are going to be before carrier's cut. All right, so I delivered a load today for 900. Plus tomorrow I deliver a load for 1,000. Plus Sunday I'll deliver a load for 1,600. That puts me at 3,500. That will be delivered Sunday night. Now, if we take out Friday's load, which, you know, is understandable, that's 2,600. So 2,600 divided by 2, because I will be delivering Sunday afternoon. So, well, no, we'll do 3 divided by 3. That's $866 a day before carrier's cut. Okay. Now, where's the difference in the profit margin? My rate per mile profit margin is higher than his. My rate per day is not as high, but my net per day will be pretty comparable to his. Because why? Because my 3,500, let's see, divided by, I need a second calculator. Okay, well, we can remember 36, 35, is it 35? Yeah, 35. See, so 200 plus 112 plus 184 plus 60 plus 345. So 901 miles. So my 3,500 divided by 901 miles, it's 388 a mile before carrier's cut. Some people go, Steve, why do you do the short stuff? There you go. And who taught me that? Jeffrey Light taught me that. Because at Landstar, the best way to do good at Landstar was to run long, and I hated doing that. My best month there ever was when I ran from Springfield to Laredo up to Salt Lake City. No, Boise, Idaho. And then I picked up in Utah and took it down to Phoenix, Arizona. And then Phoenix, I deadheaded to Tucson, took a load from Tucson to Missouri. And that was like the best money because, I mean, I had to go long. Now, Schneider, it's the money ball approach, you know, bunch of singles, you can drop and hook, you know, you had 24/7 shippers most of the time. And so you could do the run, short run. And that's what Jeff kind of taught me when I went over to Schneider, because that was difficult to do at Landstar. And so there's advantages of doing the things the way that I do them. Less wear and tear on the truck. My tires have lasted longer. My brakes have lasted longer. The plastic and rubber has lasted longer. My fuel bill is nowhere near. I've literally done weeks where I net like $5,000 with only, you know, after fuel, you know, with only like $400 or $500 with fuel. Now with fuel going up, it's been a little bit more difficult, but the rates are staying up there. Now, here's the trick though, okay? To do what I do, number one, here's why I'm able to do what I do. Number one, I know this area like the back of my hand. I've been running freight in this area for 10 years. I know most of the shippers. I know most of the receivers. I know which ones will let you spend the night. I know which ones are flexible. I know which ones, and you know, and even though the brokers that run these same loads all kind of change it up a little bit, it allows me to give them better service because I can go, yeah, I do this load all the time. I do it for this, and you know, and I show exceptional service, just like the load I delivered today, right? And so that's advantage number one, okay? Advantage number two, I live in the area, so that helps. But advantage number two is you have to have patience. And you have to be constantly on the low boards. You constantly have to be looking. And since I do a lot of sitting, because I'm only doing 200 or 300 miles a day, that's easy to do. However, here's where it kind of, the disadvantage is that one day loss, boom, takes out that profit margin. By the day rate, by the mileage rate, it's still pretty good. And so when everybody's out there trying to kill it with $11,000 weeks, that opens up my short haul stuff. And I, you know, and the way to make money, a Landstar oversized guy told me something very profound when I was looking for help at Landstar. And he said, you got to do, he told me the story about working for the mafia and all that. He goes, you got to do the stuff that nobody else wants to do, right? And that's kind of when I turned things around at Landstar. I started doing all the hazmat stuff, you know, and all that. But it takes a certain amount of patience. But there's always that one day that I end up sitting all day at a truck stop and I get frustrated. So it takes a little bit of patience. So that's why I'm able to do that now. Oh, and the third advantage right now is because of the market. The market is really, really good right now. You know, you got killer rates for long haul, you got killer rates for short haul. And with everything going on at home that I deal with and things that are coming up in June and July on the homestead, I pretty much would rather. Now, I did look at loads going out to Phoenix. I was going to go out to Phoenix with my friend, but he was showing me all these good rates, and then like all of a sudden there's like these two loads on the low board that were literally $150 a mile. There was a broker thinking he was going to get you to run out to Phoenix from Springfield, Missouri for $150 a mile. Can you believe that? And And so, and I keep, it keeps me in the right areas. I was looking at stuff going to Indiana and Illinois for this weekend, but then one of my normal loads popped up at the last minute. I got the rate that I wanted, and then one of the other click and goes had like a ridiculous rate on the next load. I'm like, that's worth waiting a half a day for. So all right, I'm behind on comments. I'm dumb. All right. Man, you guys have been commenting like crazy. Finally, someone else who hits those super singles right. John's going to bed. He's always going to bed. Nomadic Brick, good luck, is all I'm going to say. GNC, will follow myself and 5 American owner ops to see what we can do financially over 10 weeks starting July 1st, which includes overheads, profits, etc. Thomas is back. You should have gotten into it, GNC. Just watched him. He's complaining. He complained and thought he was a real truck driver. 85 miles per 700 through the house. There you go, Cascade. Thomas Wilson knows about the art of the shorties, but you've got dropping hooks, so you're kind of like in a more of a Schneider situation. You guys are talking. Them constant dropping hooks are nice until each trailer pickup is broken. Steve Berger, there was a point where I kind of missed the dropping hook, but then I love the fact that when I walk out, the worst I might find is a trailer light out or a tire flat that may not have been flat the night before. But I know what the brakes are. I know what the tires are going to be. I know what everything's going to be. And I love having the right way. I don't think I've touched a cat scale in months. I don't think I've touched one yet this year. So now part of that's because when I'm running, I don't really cross the scales too much, but most of the stuff I've been running has been 41, 42. So, and then it helps that the Joplin scale going eastbound is closed. That's been a big part of that too. Like Steve is just stating, know your customer base and have patience. Steve Berger took to Schneider like fish to water. He did really good. He does really good there, and he's done some really good videos on how he looks at a low board. And he's one of those guys. You put him in the middle of Phoenix, Arizona, and give him the Schneider low board. He's going to figure it out. He can go in any spot in the country. Now he runs the same area pretty much. But he's another one that, and that's a good skill set to have, is put yourself in any situation. If I had to run out to Phoenix, I can utilize that market. If I had to run out to Northwest, I can utilize that market. My timing might be off. My knowledge of customers may not be there. But I have run all but one state in the lower 48. So, it's more of a mindset, take the platform and adapt and overcome. So Chucky says I've been mixing long and short. That's usually the best strategy. Do a long one for the weekend, do a few shorties, mid-range, it depends on what you consider short. It depends on where you're at, it depends on where you land on a weekend. There was a few loads going into Florida that I was looking at, but I remember there was a fuel issue, so I was like, I don't want to even mess with that. Plus, Memphis is a mess, and now they're saying that crack, which is a clean break, looks like to me, had been around since 2016. So imagine how many times we've all gone over that bridge since 2016. That's some crazy. It's a miracle that there hasn't been some tragedy on that bridge. So I got another one of them short water loads for great money. Good deal. Talking about Snyder tanker. Okay, Steve, I'm in the shop for maintenance and enjoying home life. All right, Thomas, you take it easy. I'm glad you came in here. Just told the wife today I was going to get the right weight gauge. I love it. I love it for the truck and trailer. And every now and then you want to check, you know, I still scale a 45,000 pound load if I'm going a pretty good distance and I know I'm going through some scales. There are some shippers, like when I pick up at the caves in Springfield, I don't even see what's in the trailer. I don't know how they got it secured. I don't know how, you know, it's loaded. Depending on which shipper it is. One shipper, it's always going to be the standard sweet spot, you know, the 41 mark at the right spot, and it's always balanced. In the cave, it's easy to balance because you can find flat ground. There's no unlevel ground in there. But there's another shipper in there that you don't know what you're going to get. So it's all because it's all mixed product. Got 3 for Monday handed to me. I wasn't even going to work. Third one delivered Tuesday at 7 a.m. Cool deal, Cascade. You should holler at me if you're not at home later or tomorrow or whatever. So that's why I run the short stuff. It's not rocket science, but when it comes to net per day, I do pretty good, and my costs aren't really high. I mean, they're kind of high now. I'm back in the red. I was doing so well, and I'm back in the red now on my profit margin for the whole year because of this last repair. So, you know, just par for the course. You know, that's kind of how it is. And so that's why the health thing is really kind of kicked in, because I kind of need to get my act together. I kind of need to get a few things going, because I need to do better, you know, and so if I can improve my health and get some clarity and get some, you know, get some motivation, I think that's what I need. So this health thing has been kind of, it's given me a little bit of a new fire that I've needed. So, but I want to get off here, and a video from 5 years ago popped up. No beard and a Snyder hat on, and I was 120 pounds heavier there, Mr. Wilson. My Snyder videos actually did, you know, do pretty good. It's funny, I came across one of my old Snyder videos, and I didn't realize how many thumbs down and how much hatred I had, because for some reason YouTube Studio is not giving me the notifications for those videos. So every now and then I'll check my analytics to see which videos are making the most money, and you know, which ones are getting the most views and all that. So yeah, Grafton, YouTube's weird. Sometimes you get notifications, sometimes you don't. Sometimes, you know, it just depends. So, but RN, good to see you. Your BO8, man, that tanker stuff be hard on that precious truck you got there, Mr. Berger. Spooby's in the house. What's up? So, but that's why I run the short stuff. It's something I learned at Snyder, and it works in my area. Now, if I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, I couldn't do it like that. If I lived in, I don't know how that does in the upper Northwest, but if I lived in the Northeast, we got a guy that lives in the Northeast here at Like Trucking, and he runs all that short stuff up there. And then we got a bunch of Georgia, Florida guys that are running all the short stuff around there. So got to keep the truck nice till you buy it complete with the new carrier. I had a friend of mine who bought that Dynasis. They paid the exact same price I paid for the carrier, and I'm like, I should have went with the carrier. The secret to success. I'm proud of that video, Thomas Wilson. That's one of my. I I think Everyday Ray came up to me at GATS and wanted to shake my hand and said, dude, that was the best video you've ever done. You spoke a lot of truth. I'm actually proud of that video. So, unless you stay in Texas, but there are a lot of guys already doing it. You have a green APU on yourself? Cool. Maybe that's what they got, was green. I can't remember now. But Steve, with your dietary life, how do you feel now compared to previous times? Nomadic Brit, it's night and day. I mean, I can't even begin. I mean, you know, Facebook memory popped up today of I'm in a 4X t-shirt and it's bulging out. I was out with some friends of mine at a local club, you know, and I just, man, it just, it's. My daughter actually said, I feel like I've got my dad back, because, you know, we go to family outings, I couldn't walk, you know, we go to truck shows, couldn't walk, you know. I was always depressed, I was always miserable, I was uncomfortable. You know, when you're overweight, like to the level I was, which was 380 pounds, you know, so close to 400, you can't even lay in bed and be comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like you can't sit in the seat. You can't lay in bed. If you sit too long, your legs want to move. You know, you got that restless leg syndrome. And the inflammation, and it's just, you know, skin tags. You know, look, I'm reading so many benefits of the carnivore lifestyle that are just absolutely amazing to me. And so I think this is like, for me, it's keto on steroids. You know, first I went low carb, then I went keto, and then now I'm doing carnivore. And the reality is eating clean meat, and you know, if you're keto, vegetables, you know, and you're gonna feel better. You know, inflammation is the enemy, but yeah, it's from back pain to shoulder pain to everything. I mean, just it's night and day. Nomadic Brit, it's actually given me a new lease on life, you know. And with the year and a half that we've dealt with as a nation, you kind of need your wits about you, and because if not, you potentially could be, you know, I mean, you could get sick. You know, depression is through the roof, suicide is through the roof. You know, there's all these things going on in our world that are just, you have to have your wits about you, and having, look, if you want to be the guy that's going to create $1 million company, okay, it does no good to make that $1 million if you don't have your health. It does no good to make all these sacrifices now if you can't enjoy it later. You know, I know people that are so focused on business, and they are the best business people, and they've got a plan and they stick to it, and they're kicking butt and taking names, but they don't take care of their health. And so they're constantly sick. They're dealing with things, you know, that it's just, you know, in the stress level's high, and there's no, I mean, it's just, what good is all that, you know? What good? Like, if you're the kind of driver that runs 6 months straight and you made killer amounts of money, okay, which I could do that if I wanted to, but at the end of the day, if your truck goes to crap because you didn't have time to maintain it, and your relationships go to crap because you didn't have time to maintain it, and your health goes to crap because you didn't have time to maintain it, what good is all that money you're making? What good is that? If all it does is add more stress, more physical ailments, kills your relationships, what good is that $1 million? What good is that, you know, having that $300,000 a year as an owner operator if your life is total crap, and your health is total crap, and your mental state is total crap? What good is that? So if you can sit there and think that you're going to build this big company but not take care of your health, you're missing the point. Because what good's all that money if you can't enjoy it? What good is leaving a legacy if it's left in sorrow because of either cancer or heart attack or diabetes or all the above, or you got to walk around with a catheter bag, or any of this stuff, get dialysis once a month at the kidney clinic, and or worse yet, you're 400 pounds and you die in the back of this truck here. You die in the back. How fun is that for the paramedics to get your fat ass out of the truck, right? And it does no good. What got me to 360 pounds? Alexander Walker, what's up? Natas, what's up? Thomas says, I'm so miserable. I'm full Italian dinner tonight. Yeah, you're going to be feeling those carbs if you've truly been keto for a while. Let's see. Back to the question. What got you to 360 pounds? Stress, overeating, depression, guilt that I was putting my family through a hardship while doing a job that I love. Not controlling my emotions, eating when I'm bored, eating when I'm stressed, eating when I'm happy. Falling under the same brainwashing that most of 65% of America's in right now with the food culture. Just years and years of eating big and not burning it off, but at one point your insulin becomes so resistant that weight just comes on just like that. And once I found the magic pill, literally, on Netflix, it was changed my life, and you guys can see it, I'll ask the uncomfortable question about bowel movements. Spooby, I've had no issues there. So, I take magnesium supplements, but I don't take fiber supplements. Now, I'm only 4 days into this, so we might have a different story next week. But so far, so good. Knock on wood. Kind of angry right now. Watching your carnivore videos made me want to chow down on some Hungarian links, but the nearest meat store is closed. Bad timing. Sorry about that, Alexander. Yeah, Steve Berger's still over at Snyder, guys. Hell, Steve, I'm not brainwashed. Just like the... Well, look, that's what makes carnivore and keto good, is that I like meat, I like steak, I like burgers, I mean, I'm not a finicky eater at all. There's only I'm trying to think of a food that I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't eat bugs. That's gross. That's about it. You see these people in foreign countries with chopsticks and eating chocolate covered grasshoppers. I'm not that guy. I'm not doing that. But beyond that, Thank you, Pneumatic Brick. I appreciate it. If anything, just stay away from soda. I have that. I haven't had any feel great. Soda is one of the worst things for you guys. I just can't even emphasize how bad that is. Because of, I hauled hazmat chemicals to soda plants so they can make soda. Hazardous material chemicals. Eat goat balls like these do up your factor. I haven't done that. But, when I lived in Hawaii, my dad found all this eccentric seafood that we would eat. I've had all the organs, well, almost all the organs on a cow. I haven't done anything in the, like, the, what do they call it? The mountain oysters. I haven't had that. I don't know if I could do that, but, you know, liver. I don't know if I've had tongue, but I've had liver, I've had kidney, I've had heart, you know. Yeah, especially diet soda, Nomadic Brit. Especially diet soda. Look, I used to pick up a load out of St. Louis, picking up for a diet soda brand. And when you walked into the warehouse, it literally smelled like bug spray. You know, when I worked at Piccadilly Cafeteria, the Eco Lab would come around once a month, and they call it Bug Night. We'd have to move all the pots and pans to a certain area, and he would spray. And so the next morning, the restaurant had a certain smell. It smelled exactly the same. And I had not one, not two, but 3 different placards for those loads, Nomadic. 3 different placards. Spoopy makes a good question. That is true. We need to find Pale Rider, duck him in a tub full of mushrooms and broccoli. Spoopy, I was talking to Pale Rider today about he's perfect for the carnivore diet. He hates vegetables. I'm like, dude, you hate vegetables. Let's go. Get on the carnivore. Get on the 40-day challenge with me. Been listening to new music. I've been on an Opeth and Rotting Christ kick the last week. Forgot how good they are. Natas, I've been enjoying the new Gojira. That's been good. The new Cannibal Corpse is awesome. I can't seem to get that out of my player. The new Flotsam is pretty good. Flotsam and Jetsam. Seemed like there was another one I stumbled upon as far as the metal stuff goes. So you're gonna try it, Spoopy? Sweet. Drank RC Cola growing up. Even with brushing my teeth, I could develop that doesn't have cavities from it. Don't drink glorified cleaning products and that can erode car paint even if it tastes good. Alexander, that is truth. Do you like snakes? What kind of snakes do you like? I don't know. Snakes are okay. I mean, I don't know if I'd have one as a pet. It seemed like a lot of work, but, you know, I don't know. I don't mind snakes. Snakes and spiders don't bother me. Unless they're trying to bite me and they're venomous, then that kind of sucks. The problem is for myself, a foreigner coming to America, the food is so different here, which is why I've added 20 pounds. Nomadic Brit, the standard American diet. SAD. Sad. It spells sad. I have a friend of mine from Australia that moved here, and he has said the same thing. If you look at the history of our food, major food corporations, like the things that Hershey and Heinz and Kellogg's and McDonald's and Bluebell and all these snack companies and all these, you know, like $1 trillion industry, they've made their food addictive. You know, they've ingrained it in our DNA. They've ingrained it in our social. I mean, what do two truck drivers do when they meet up with each other? Hey, let's go get a meal, right? You know, you got Taco Bell advertising the 4th meal, you know, and it's just it's so ingrained in our culture. And you look at a 1980s documentary, not a movie, because movies are staged, but a documentary, and look at how people looked back then. And look at how they look now. The soda that we drink now is different. The bread that we eat now is different. The plants that we eat now are different than what we had 30 years ago. And you know, the MSG in 12 different forms, and the high fructose corn syrup, which is like crack compared to regular sugar. And it's just the things that I've learned in the last 2 years have just been absolutely eye-opening. And it's almost like you have to have a rebellion. Don't give in to these companies. Don't give them any more of your money, because when you're sick and you acquire cancer and you acquire diabetes and you acquire, heart disease, they're going to get your money that way. So again, it goes back. If you're going to build this $1 million company, guess who gets all that money? The corporations that made you unhealthy in the first place. A lot of food companies are owned by cigarette executives. They use the same methods. Have you ever heard of Moving Authority Incorporated? No. My wife is American, says our British food is bland. Goods should not be able to keep for long periods. Food should not, yeah. Meat and potatoes, that's where it's at. Food of kings. Look, I was talking to somebody that was inquiring, he's not in the chat, but he's usually in everybody's chat, about this carnivore thing, and he's jumping on board. And he told me that his grandfather used to eat, like, every now and then they go to McDonald's, and they would, like, when he was younger, and he would actually, like, take out the bread and then add a stick of butter, like, not a stick, like a bunch of butter on it, and it made him feel great. There's a lot of there's a saying. Let's see if I can find it here in my gallery. I screenshotted it. Oh, maybe it's not in here. No. Anyways, it's a little. It's a little saying about maybe it is here. No? It's about forgetting things that used to work for us, health wise. Did you know, like, in the 15, 16, 1700s, if you had epilepsy, they treated that with no carbs. They treat it either with a ketogenic, they didn't call it that, but a low carb lifestyle. Did you know that if you watch The Magic Pill, you can watch the transformation of 2 kids that have severe autism? Eggs and meat are brain food. And, I can't tell you how many videos I've come across where people talk about clarity. There's this one gal named Heather Legault that has been carnivore for 2 years, and the way she deals with stress and the calmness that she has and the lack of anxiety, and I mean, it just, I can't even explain to you the clarity that it brings you by eating right. I literally can't explain it to you. And people have seen it firsthand. When I went to Matt's a couple of years ago, people were like, holy crap, because most of these people were hanging out with me at GATS, where I was miserable. Lugnut, what's up? You're being tipsy? How much is your cargo and liability insurance per week? 0. At Like Trucking, we don't pay for cargo liability. I thought I've told you that. It's all right, Thomas. You can joke around. We don't have to be all serious. When I was a kid, milk went bad in a week. Now it lasts for a month. Um, Dennis, I walked across the field to Vernon Sanders Dairy Farm and got my milk daily. I've seen documentaries about people overcoming cancer with plant-based diets. There's something to that, Steve, but it goes a step further, and you and I can have a great conversation about this carnivore thing. The problem with a lot of plant-based diets, and look, there's a local band called Transylvania. They have 3 guitar players. They do a great Iron Maiden tribute, by the way, but their guitar player lost like over 150 pounds going vegan, right? But the problem that I'm starting to see with a lot of plant-based diets is the stuff that they spray on them, the GMO, what do they call it? The phosphorus. You know, that's why you have people with celiac disease that, you know, were eating bread almost all their life and all of a sudden they can't eat it anymore. You know, so there's a lot of conversation that you and I can have, Steve, that I think would kind of help you with some ailments that I know that you have. So, Steve, my problem is missing family and friends in the UK. Unfortunately, I turn to alcohol, which is the same as food problem. I hear you. I've been there. You know, that's the best way you can do it in almost any dairy farm in Lancaster, PA. No ultra pasteurization, just fresh milk. Does the singer Count Dracula? What are you talking about? Is it celiac? I don't know. The gluten intolerance. You have to have gluten-free food. Look. All else, look. I have a tendency to oversimplify things. And people hate that sometimes because it's like, well, you're not taking this into consideration. You're not taking this into consideration. You don't know how I feel, right? When was the last time, watching any of these wildlife documentaries, you saw an overweight wolf, an overweight zebra, an overweight lion, an overweight hyena, an overweight deer, an overweight, you know, any live wild animal? Mother Nature knows how to regulate your weight, right? So the oversimplification is this. Mother Nature. Unfortunately, most of the plants that we consume are not Mother Nature anymore. They're human nature. Same thing with the meat. There's a lot of genetically modified meat and all that. But look at the Amish. You don't see very many overweight Amish. Look at the Mennonites. You don't see them very overweight. They grow all their own stuff. And so that proves that Mother Nature is the best medicine, right? Fast forward to today, house pets. They're fed by human manipulated food, right? You have animals, you have dogs and cats that have cancers and leukemia and epilepsy and stoppages and all that kind of stuff. And grain is bad for you. I'm fully convinced of that. Now, you can make fun of me. You can go like, Steve, you're stupid, you're an idiot, whatever. Look, I don't care. All I know is that when I introduced, and no matter, Britt, let's go back to your question, when did I start putting on weight? I first started to put on weight when I was in my senior year in high school, and I was driving myself to school, stopping at the convenience store every morning, and stopping and eating out lunch every day. That's when I started eating more junk food and riding my bike less. Now, at that time, I thought it was a caloric issue, but no. being obese is a hormonal imbalance. If you have a fatty liver, hormonal imbalance. If you're overweight, it's a hormonal imbalance, insulin resistance. And you can be skinny and have insulin resistance. You know, and what I've noticed in all these carnivore videos is the comments about these vegans that were like diehard, I hate people that kill animal vegans, right? That literally will try the carnivore diet against their own principles, and then their health completely turns around to where they know how wrong. And it just goes to show you that, you know, if you go back to the book, The Roots of Obesity by Jason Fung, you will see that everything that we know about food is wrong. Everything that we've been taught since school about food has been wrong. It's all been propaganda to make sure that we eat 6 times a day, to make sure that we eat the crap, to make sure that you know, every Christmas we got to load up on cookies, donuts, and that kind of stuff. Now, is it good to have a treat every now and then? Sure. Let's do it, right? Got my ring light on now. But the problem is like, you know, when we were kids, a soda was like a big deal. It's like, oh, I got a can of soda. You nursed it all day, right? Now, you have 10-year-olds that can down a whole 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew. What do you think that's going to do to their ADHD? What do you think that's going to do to their attention span? What do you think that's going to do to their health in 10 years? So, let's see. Being serious though, I think the GMO junk foods might have been contributing to my irritability as well. I think I got temper issues, but I'm just saying I don't think the GMO diet junk helped. Alexander, there's a lot of truth to that. I had a temper. I mean, I didn't like get in anybody's face. I didn't get violent with anybody. But man, if you were an inanimate electronic object, I went violent on you. On the machine, not on you, but you know what I'm saying, right? And the calmness that you acquire by eating right is just ridiculous, right? Les D's in the house. I gained weight when I retired from Yellow Freight. Ratman, what'd you say? Oh, you said something like only single guys are skinny. Let me give you a little secret. I'm going to turn the afterburners on. Okay. I'm doing the filet mignon and salad and diet Mountain Dew diet every night. Johnson Jobs, Google Mountain Dew, mouth nasty. That's good stuff, man. I'm gonna hit the pillow. Yep, hit me up this weekend, Steve. I can give you some info that's gonna change your life. The VA put me on meds, says Michael L, in a special diet, and I got sicker when I quit all their BS and went back to my meat and potato diet. I lost weight and felt way better. I truly believe simple is the key. Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what a friend of mine told me once. Keep it simple, stupid. And you can't get any simpler than carnivore, right? You can't get any simpler. Keto is somewhat similar. But, you've got all these keto diet books and keto recipes and keto groups and carnivore recipes, You got to get that cultural, embedment of you got to eat and have 20 different varieties of everything out of your head. And by simplifying your menu and just eating clean and only when you're hungry, it frees up your wallet. It frees up your free time. I mean, it's been, my business had to take a turn for the better at one point, and I think that I turned my health around just in time. You know, don't give in to the gimmicks. Good night, Pneumatic. Oh, you're telling Steve, the other Steve. All right, Thomas, you have a good night. Look, I make money off of the beverage places. I haul stuff that I've boycotted, you know, out of necessity, right? But I'm not drinking it. I'm not buying it. I'm not giving into it. You know, there's stuff that I've literally boycotted, not because of they're bad for your health. I mean, that's part of it. But the other part is because of their politics, because of the crap that they're trying to shove in our face. So there's stuff that I haul that I literally will not consume or buy, not even for a friend. I'm not even like I refuse to buy a sugary treat for anybody anymore, knowing what I've learned about sugar and the link to cancer. You know, I might as well be handing you a cigarette, right? And I have very good reasons to think that way. No, it's everything, Pneumatic Brit. You can do fish, you can do meat, poultry, or meat. You could do red poultry, pork. If it walks around on the earth or swims in the ocean, you can eat it. You know, it's you know. Now a lot of people associate carnivore with only red meat because, you know, the easiest way and the most fun way is steak and hamburgers and all that. But for the most part, if it's meat, you're good to go. So, and eggs, meat and eggs, and pretty much fat, butter, heavy whipping cream, that kind of thing. I drink a lot of water. I do this electrolyte water, but every now and then I'll do like a sparkling water. You know, especially if you guys trying to quit soda, sparkling water is a really good, as long as it's not sweetened or artificially sweetened. If you just get the flavor stuff, that works well. Kind of gets rid of that craving. Sugar cravings are hard to get rid of, guys. It really is. I was craving something sweet after I ate my meal tonight, and I don't even eat that. I mean, I've been avoiding sugar for the most part for 2 years now. That's how addictive that stuff is, guys. But water and coffee, that's pretty much it. So, and tea, unsweetened tea. The purpose, look, here's the purpose of carnivore, okay? You eat no carbs whatsoever, 0.0. So it mimics fasting in many ways. Now, you know, these are things I'm going to mention over the next 35 days or whatever. But like, if you're not what we call fat adapted, carnivore gets to be pretty hard. Just like keto. Keto is kind of a gateway to intermittent fasting. Keto and carnivore are kind of gateways to intermittent fasting. You know, Jason Fung taught me that it's all about what you eat and when you eat. We're not designed to eat 6 times a day. We're not designed for that. And go to any Walmart late at night or anytime, and you'll see how unhealthy this country is. But anyways, we have been at this for a little over an hour. And I don't want to be that too much of an annoying guy with health. So we talked about some trucking stuff today. We talked about some health stuff. We talked about Pale Rider for a minute. But anyways, guys, you got to take care of yourselves. I mean, look, this world is falling apart. Plain and simple. Our world is falling apart. And in the next 10 years, we're going to need our wits about us. You're going to want to be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, and financially. Those 4 things. You need that health. You can't have one without the other. You could be financially rich and not have your health. You could be, but if you're physically fit, you can acquire those riches. And if you have mental health, you can figure it out. And if you got spiritual health, then you can conquer anything you want. That's pretty much it. That's why I do this. And I want to prove to all the naysayers that you can lose weight driving a truck. You can lose weight living off this crap, living off this swill that you willingly buy, that is literally going to create future hospital bills or a life of misery. You're welcome to Meta Brick. So with that being said, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to kick back and catch up on some stuff. Go over some safety stuff for the company, and then update my trucking office, and let's see what else. What else am I doing? Oh, just chillaxing. You lost 40 pounds driving? Yep, it could be done. Take care, highly illogical. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, guys, I don't judge. I've been there. I tell you what, man, my life is way better now than what it was when I was 380 pounds, both mentally and physically. The confidence and clarity is way better than any of this extravagant food that they want to sell you. That's true, Marty, but you got to do it right. So that's what I'm trying to do. So, all right. So with that being said, guys, appreciate it. Peace.